What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's having a great day. It is Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. It's Saturday afternoon. I'm sitting here watching the Tennessee Titans versus New York Giants. Getting ready to go out and do some work, even though it's kind of a wet, rainy day, trying to get this porch swing up and things. But that's not why you're here. You're here because I got breaking news on a trade. And this is an amazing trade to me because this is a guy the Cowboys targeted, and what they wanted for him. It's, I believe, a second or a first minimum during the season last year. And we now look and see this is actually not quite the same. Jerry Jeudy has been traded to the Cleveland Browns for a fifth and a sixth round pick. Let me say it again. Jerry Jeudy was traded by Denver to the Cleveland Browns for a fifth and a sixth round pick. Not a whole lot, especially considering the fifth and sixth round pick for the Cleveland Browns are in the 20s. You know, a fifth round pick that's late in the draft is almost like a sixth, and a sixth that's late in the draft is almost like the seventh. That is literally a salary dump. Jerry Jeudy is only 24 years old. 24 years old. Last year, last year was kind of a down year because, let's face it, the Denver Broncos have just been kind of down. Numbers wise, he had 758 yards and 54 receptions, 14 yard per reception with 2 TDs. The year before, Russell Wilson's first year, 972 on 67 catches. Now, contract-wise, he's going to end up wanting to get paid, but he's still on his 4-year rookie deal at $15.919 million. Now, it's not to say that he isn't going to get a better contract, but the Broncos exercised his contract team option for 24, which is going to be $12.99 for this year. So they took the 5th year option, I should say. Okay, so you're looking at this. This is one of those cases where hindsight is 2020. The Cowboys had a guy who kind of started his career like Jerry Jeudy did the first 2 years, but continued to go downhill, and that's Michael Gallup. And see, the Cowboys have this mentality, and it seems like we're going in that direction, that if we drafted you, you're better than anything we can get out there. That we're better off paying you the big bucks to stay here than to take a risk on somebody else that's young. Now, we do bring in players, name players, but generally speaking, it's after their prime. It's after they've made all their money that they're kind of long in the tooth, so to speak. The Gerald McCoys, the Emerson Griffin, the Dontari Poes. But see, this is one of those cases where you throw good money after bad. Now, I know we tried to trade for Jerry Jeudy last year and the year before, the year before, and it didn't work out for us. But had you gotten that guy, yes, it would have cost you some more money. Instead of paying Michael Gallup, it would have been a wash, and you probably would have had a better player at this point that's in your system. And see, the thing that still drives me crazy with the Cowboys is, I get it. You drafted a guy, you have loyalty to him, you know them, and so on. I understand that. But you have to understand that when guys get hurt or have a propensity of getting hurt, and this is not new, Miles Austin had hamstring issues off the bat. Had one great season, and we decided, lock him up. We had Marion Barber, who was a part-time starting running back, who you knew his style did not equate being able to hold up for the long term. You signed him to a big contract. You go through, you sign Jalen Smith to a big contract, a guy with drop foot. You go through Michael Gallup, who had 3 years of his numbers going down and beginning to get injured, and he gets injured with an ACL, and you sign him to a big contract. At some point, you have to start looking at these and saying, let's let them go. Let's get a compensatory pick and let's sign somebody else. Because ultimately, that's the thing you have to start looking at. When you think about how the San Francisco 49ers, which have signed a lot of great players and have built a great roster, part of the reason why they're getting 2 extra compensatory picks are their coordinators became head coaches. And that gives you 2 years, because they're minority candidates, 2 years of third-round picks. But that team's got 5 compensatory picks to our 2. And the reason why you get those is you lose a good player, they give you a pick to try and make up for it if you're not able to pick up somebody else in free agency worth the same amount of contract. And so this is where you look at it and say, there is talent out there, and there's moves to be made. Now, that's not to say that Denver would have traded it to the Cowboys, that same kind of compensation. They might have looked at that and said, oh, it's the Cowboys. We want a third and a fourth as opposed to a fifth and a sixth. Because I believe a lot of that goes on because of the noise and the culture of the Dallas Cowboys being those boys that when you do business with them, they're going to charge you a premium. It's like you got the car dealership in the wealthy neighborhood versus the one that's out in the hood. There's a premium on that car dealership and those cars. They'll put extra money on there because of the location. So we'll see what other big deals get made out there. And I hope that the Cowboys are open to possibilities like these. Because when you can bring in a guy, a 5th and a 6th round wide receiver, 5th and a 6th round pick, that's a starter, a guy that's gotten 800-900 yard receiving seasons, you're ahead of the game. And that's one of the reasons why the Cowboys sometimes seem to be behind when it comes to playoffs. All right, good people. I hope you all are having a wonderful day. We're going to keep our ears, I don't know. Where do we keep our ears? We're going to be listening for shit, okay? We're going to be looking for deals that are happening. I don't know. Eyes peeled? But how do you really peel your eyes? Like a banana? Peel. Nose, and the nose to the grindstone. If you put your nose on a grindstone, it's gonna it's gonna bleed. Yeah, grindstone, it's a stone spinning around. Why would you put your nose to the grindstone? It's kind of crazy. Well, okay, how about we just scan the wires? Yeah, we'll scan the wires and bring you any crazy news. It must be nice for teams to go ahead and say, oh man, we got Jerry Jeudy in the mix and stuff. I don't know what that feels like. Peace.